Okay, the pause board's ready. I want to go ahead and do a demo on that. You can do it, use it three ways. There's the Bliss-Box bridge, where you have any controller that you want. You can use it with the flashback controller, because it has the buttons on the front of it. Of course, you can make your own device, and we'll get into that in a minute and how that works. Okay, so just for a demo, with my PlayStation controller here, I can pause my game, or unpause my game, pause my game. That's using the start button. Now, added a select button feature, which isn't going to work on every game. We'll get into that in a minute, why later. But essentially what that's going to do is give you kind of like a slow motion. It's just rapidly pausing the game, kind of like the old NES days. And then the third option would be the home button, which some controllers have. If you want to use it with a controller that doesn't have it, you need a select and a start button. It's the only way that you can get that to work. So you have to set the hotkey in the API tool to be start. But then if you just hold your select and then press and hold your start, after 2 seconds, the game restarts. So that is connected to the restart. And like I said, if you have a controller that has a home button, you can use that. Okay, so now let me go ahead and show you how that works with the flashback controller. Okay, now the thing you need to know here is that this will not work with 2-button games. So only the 1-button games would work with this. Since we're running a 2-button game, I can't show you the button. But it has a start button on the front, which works the same way. It also has a select button. Let's see here. Which will do the same thing as the other one did. And then there is a menu button, which will do the restart. So you can use that flashback controller for that reason. But yeah, you are limited to 1 button in this case. All right, then we can also use it on another console. And if you guessed it right, it's the Sega Master System. So same deal here. You can pause your game. And this one is a little more sensitive to pushing the buttons. The game likes to move, essentially. But there is a slow motion. If I get this right here. Okay, here's our version of slow motion here. And then you can, of course, reset the game. Now, a bit about how this stuff is working. So the first thing that's important is there's no rocket science here. That flashback controller is sending an invalid direction. So in other words, left and right at the same time, up and down at the same time, etc. The bridge is doing the same thing because we emulated the flashback controller. And then both consoles use the same code. As far as I know, there isn't any kind of a mod that you can get for the Master System that's out there that's standard. But I based it on the flashback console because it was kind of a standard. Now, you can do this yourself with the electronics and stick them in your controller, and there's some guides out there that show you how to do it. There's some other implementations of this and things like that that you can experiment with, but it's not too difficult to set up your controller to do this if you wanted to do that. You just need a couple of logic gates. But that's not really what this is advertised for. You can do that at your own risk, of course. Hack your own controllers. But the easiest and best option is using the bridge because it's all done for you. Or you can do that 1 button, which I think is kind of a limited way to play this 78. I'm not even sure if that works with many games. But as you can see, that will work too. So inside the consoles, there's a mod chip that's looking for that combination. And then it presses the reset or the pause button. So you could use it in any way that you want. You can connect it to anything that you feel necessary. That's just how I have it connected on mine. So online, there'll be the schematic so you can see how you connect this the mod chip. It's 8 wires, so each direction has a wire up, down, left, and right. And then you have a power and ground you'll have to connect, and then you have your reset and your pause. The reason I say that the slow motion isn't going to be the best option is there are some games do not pull every frame, and what that pause button is doing is it's basically pushing the pause button for 2 frames and then releasing it for 2 frames. I chose 2 frames because most Atari games, 7800 games, wasted a frame, and it doesn't check for the controller payload. So amazingly, I kind of shocked to find that out, but not all games read the controller as often as you would think, and in some cases up to 32 milliseconds apart. So there are a few games that are even longer, and that pause button just simply doesn't work. So it's kind of an experimental thing. It worked with the majority of the games that I liked, but I usually like the games that require timing, and they usually sample every frame. But it does work for majority 70-100 games and a good number of the Sega games. But of course, if you don't want to use that option, just avoid the select button. Okay, so that is a module that should be available here in a month or two. It will be on the store. There'll be installation guides, and so far the only 2 consoles I came across where it would be an advantage was the 7800 and the Master System. So thanks for watching.